Namaste, everybody, and welcome to Round Glass Living. I'm Lama Yeshe, and I'm grateful to be sharing this meditation with you live from India today. So, today's practice is about flowers, and one thing I love about flowers is they don't try to control anything or compare themselves to other flowers. They just blossom and spread their joy and happiness and their wonderful fragrance. So, before we start this meditation practice, I have a question for you. Where in your day do you experience calmness, and what helps you to achieve that? So, if you feel comfortable, just share your answer in the chat box and I'll read it out in a minute. So, in today's meditation, we're going to imagine ourselves as seeds in the ground, just waiting for the opportunity to bloom. And when we go through this practice, we're not going to judge, criticize, or compare. We're just going to try to act like a flower and try to understand what it feels like to not judge and criticize. So the question I just asked was, where in your day do you have calmness? So somebody put in a bubble bath, and then somebody else put during a beautiful sunset, and when the kids have gone to sleep or school, yoga or meditation using deep breaths, or when I wake up before anyone in the house. So in today's practice, we're going to have to use our imagination because we're going to imagine that we're a seed in the ground. That's not an easy thing for us to imagine because it's not every day that we stop and think that we're a seed just planted in the ground. But that's what I want you to do today. And as that seed grows, I want you to feel like you are that flower. You're not judging and comparing, you're just growing. You're just blooming. You're giving off that beautiful fragrance. You're just being who you are without worrying about who anybody else is. So it's going to take a lot of imagination, but you can do it. We can all just imagine for a moment that we're that little seed. So let's start the meditation practice. So if you're sitting in a chair, then just put your back straight, and once it's straight, drop those shoulders so you're nice and relaxed. Put your feet flat on the ground and shoulder length apart so you're nice and stable. And I'd encourage you to close your eyes if you can, if it feels good for you. If it doesn't, then it's okay. Just half close them, look down on the floor, find a point on the floor where you can just keep a very soft focus. But as I usually say, it is much better if we lightly close the eyes because it goes dark and then we can really use our imagination there. So if during this practice you have any doubts or any questions come up in your mind, then pop them in the chat. And at the end, if I get time, I'll try my best to answer them for you. So let's begin. Get nice and comfortable and either close your eyes or look down on the floor in front of you. And to help us settle in and bring us into the present moment, I want you to just think of one thing that you're grateful for right at this moment. What are you grateful for? Just sit and think about that a moment. And by thinking of this gratitude, it's settling you in and it's just very gently bringing you into the present moment. So while we're in the present moment, I want you to just check in with your thought process. So don't judge it or change it. Just become aware. What is your thought process at the moment? Is it calm and relaxed? Or is it a little bit frustrated or agitated? Just check in with your thought process. And now check in with your emotion. What is the emotion that you're feeling at the moment? And again, don't judge it, don't criticize it. Just become aware of it. And as you become aware of this emotion, accept it. It is what it is. So now I want you to focus your awareness on your breath and just become aware that you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And as you're focusing on that flowing of the breath, if your mind wanders off, just very gently bring it back and start watching the flowing of the breath again. So let's do this for 1 minute. And remember, relax. So now I want you to imagine that you're a seed in the ground. And you're cocooned inside this outer shell of the seed. You're like a fetus in the womb, warm and safe. So as you're imagining this, also feel that warmth, that feeling of being safe. And as you're that seed, everything you need now is being provided by the nutrients in the moist soil. And now imagine that you're slowly breaking out of that shell and sprouting out of the ground. So just imagine what it feels like to break through and start to sprout through the earth and break through into the open air. And as you're breaking through the soil, begin to feel the warmth of the sun. And as that sun becomes stronger and stronger, you slowly begin to grow taller and stronger. And just keep feeling the warmth of the sun as you blossom into a beautiful flower. And now you're this beautiful flower. Just notice people admiring you as they walk past. And notice the bees busily taking your pollen. Doesn't it feel wonderful to be this beautiful flower, just spreading your joy and happiness to anybody that looks at you? And I want you to look around you now and just notice the other flowers in the garden, all fragrant and beautiful, just like you, and spreading joy and happiness, just like you. And as you're looking at these other flowers, notice what it feels like not to judge or compare, but just accepting that they're there in the garden with you. Accepting the other flowers for who they are. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could do that as human beings? So now imagine the sun going down and you start to close your petals to protect yourself from the cold night ahead. But in the morning, you start to blossom again. You start to show off your beauty. And that's just like life. Sometimes we're open and full of joy, and other times we need to protect ourselves. And as time goes on, you naturally start to lose your petals. You become weaker. People stop admiring you, and the bees no longer visit. Nothing in nature blossoms forever. Nothing in nature lasts forever. And that's also the same for life. Everything is impermanent. We can learn so much from nature if we only take the time to connect with what is around us in a non-judgmental way, not comparing, but marveling at the sheer beauty of the natural world. And this is what we can learn from nature, that nothing is permanent. And everybody has their own role in life. So there's no need to judge, criticize, or compare. So before we finish this meditation practice, I want you to reflect back over it. What was it like to start off as seed and then blossom into a beautiful flower? What do you think you can learn from this experience? What do you think you can learn from nature as a whole? Just think about these points a moment. And now just very slowly start to open your eyes and very gently introduce yourself back into the outside world. So we have a question. Today's visualization felt expansive and energetic, especially when I was breaking through the soil and feeling the warmth of the sunlight. Is this your favorite calming visualization? Can you share others? I'm not sure it's my favorite calming one, but I think anything that we can visualize that is going to take us away from our challenges in life, what is going on, our uncertainties, any visualization practice we do that takes us away, takes us into nature, we use our senses, we really engage with the natural world, anything like that is going to really calm you down. You know, nature is our natural home. So whenever we can visualize that, if we can't always go into nature, if we can visualize it, it's a wonderful thing to do. It's a real calming thing to do. So thank you for sharing this time with me today. And please check out my immersive nature meditation course on roundglass.com or on the Roundglass Living app, where we are holistic well-being. So I was talking about how we should learn from nature. And that's exactly what this immersive nature course is about. It is 9 sessions of showing us how we can connect with nature, how we can use our senses, how we can learn from nature. And remember, nature is everywhere. It's in open fields, it's in your garden, it's on your balcony, it's in potted plants. Nature is all around us. So this course is for everybody. So please check out this course intro. Learning how to reconnect with our roots improves our overall mental well-being, reduces stress levels, and shows us how to be our true selves again. Whether in the deepest forest or the densest city, we all have access to nature. The more that you do this course, the more that you do these 9 sessions, the easier it's going to be for you to connect with nature. When I was young, I was painfully shy, and I mean painfully shy. So I spent a lot of my childhood in nature, learning about how there's not me and then nature. We're together as one. And I learnt so much confidence about how to interact with people just by coming into nature, spending some time, using all of my senses, listening to the sounds, looking around, touching the earth, grounding myself. All of these things we're going to do in this course. So join me here on Round Glass for this natural journey through our senses.